Hello and welcome to another video tutorial in Revit Architecture 2018. In this tutorial we look at inserting a door panel into this metric door family, and we're going to apply a parametric swing to it, a parametric control, so that when it's inserted into a project you can actually get the door to open and close. You can leave it half open or fully open, fully closed. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so to show you how this is done, we'll use, instead of using a reference plane, we will use a reference line. So on the Create tab on the ribbon, we'll go over to the Datum panel and we'll select reference line. So I'll click reference line. I'm just going to place a little reference line at the junction of the door frame, just here. Click. I'll just move out here. The angle doesn't really matter. I'll just move it out. Any length will do. I'll click about there. So we've got our green reference line. Okay. Now we have to apply some constraints to this. So I'm going to use the Align tool. So I'll just type AL. And I'm going to select this vertical reference plane on the right. I'll click on that. And then I'm just going to hit the Tab key until a little blue circle will come up. You can just see it on screen. I'll click on that, and when the lock appears, we'll just lock that down, and we'll do the same thing again. Repeat the process. I'm going to click the horizontal reference plane, and again I'm going to, at the junction of the reference line and the reference plane, I'll just hit the Tab key till a little blue dot appears, and once it does, left click, lock it down to place that constraint. Next step, we'll go to the Annotate tab on the ribbon. We'll select the angular dimension, and I'm going to place an angular dimension from the horizontal reference plane to the reference line. The angle, as I say, doesn't matter. We're going to apply a parameter label to this. So once I click that to place it, click the Modify button or hit Escape twice. I'll just select the angular dimension, and we'll go up to the ribbon again where it says Label Dimension, None. I'll go to the little Create New Parameter button. We'll click on that, and when it asks us to give us a name, we'll name this one simply Door Swing. Leave a discipline as common, type a parameter as angle. We'll group the parameter under dimensions, that's fine. And we'll make it an instance parameter. Click OK. And we'll check that that's working for us, so that that reference line flex is OK. So I'll just go up again to the ribbon. We'll click on Family Types. I'll change the door swing default from 38 to 45. Click Apply. I can see that the parameter updates and the reference line moves. I'll just put in 35, click Apply. So everything seems to be flexing OK. So I'll just click OK to close that Family Types dialog box down. And we'll change the view in the project browser. We'll open up the 3D view 1. Now I'm just going to orientate, spin around so I can see the clearly. I can see that reference line that I placed. Okay, so I'll go up to the Create tab again on the ribbon. I want to set the work plane, so over on the Workplane panel, we'll click Set. I'll make sure that it says for the name reference level. Click OK, and then we'll click the Show button so we can see what the reference plane is. Now I can adjust this with these little drag handles, or these little bubbles. We just want this sort of around where the door panel is going to get inserted into that door opening. Just spin that back around again. Okay. Right. So the last step, well, almost the last step, we'll go up to the Insert tab on the ribbon. We'll go over to Load Family, I'm going to select from my desktop. I've got a door panel mahogany in there, so I'll select that. I'll just click open. Okay, now that should have loaded it in. And underneath families in the project browser where I've got generic models, you can see I've got my door panel mahogany. Okay, so I'm going to right click on that, and where it says create instance, I'll click create instance, and I'll go over to the ribbon. I'll say place on Workplane. Okay, I'll click place on Workplane. Now I've got to be careful with this. I want to get it to that little hinge point where we place those constraints earlier, and I want to make sure. I'll just change the orientation on this slightly. Just want to make sure I get an endpoint snap there. But before I click on anything, I'm just going to use my space bar. So I'm not actually clicking, I just want to see that endpoint snap turn up. As soon as it does, it's a little bit fiddly. Just try it again. Yeah, I'm just going to use a space bar to spin the door around until it's aligned with that reference line. Now I can click to place that. Okay. Then I select the door panel itself. And I'm going to go up to the ribbon again where it says Edit Workplane. Okay, because the workplane that the door needs to be referenced to is not the reference level, but the reference line itself, which isn't listed in there. So I'm just going to, where it says pick a plane, I'll click pick a plane, I'll click OK, and I'm just going to move down on the screen, and I'm going to pick that plane. You can see, and just hovering over it, you can see it pre-select, you can see it highlight. I'm going to click on this one. And if I click away from that, I'm just going to test to make sure that all the constraints are working for me. So I'll just go up to the family types, open up the family types dialog box, and where it says door swing, for that parameter I created earlier, change that to 45, click apply. I'll change it to 30, click apply. So the door is now opening and closing about that pivot point. I'll just put it back to 45, click apply, click OK. Okay. And now I could save that family under whatever name I wish, load it into a project, and I'll have a door that opens and closes. Okay, so I hope that has been of some benefit to you. Okay, so working with Angular parameters to create a door swing in Revit architecture. Okay, I'll get back to you soon, folks, with some other video tutorials. Until then, take care. Bye bye for now.